Good morning, sixth grade. I apologize for being late. I hope everyone is doing well. Today's session is scheduled as class. Good morning, Janelli. How are you? And since it is scheduled as class, we're going to be going over 3.2 in depth. Based on the lack of turn-ins, I'm assuming that we need to set it up again so that you guys can be successful. So I'm going to try my best to make the directions clearer. And then hopefully the investigation will be meaningful for you because it is a very important investigation. So we're going to start off with some conversion questions. We're going to, I have 4 questions posted. One of them we actually answered on Monday. But that's okay because repetition in math is good anyway. So I have 4 questions for you to think about while we're comparing units. We're comparing units of time again. How many seconds are in a minute? How many minutes are in an hour? How many hours in a day? How many hours in a week? Okay, so make sure that you have 4 answers for me. And then tell me a little bit about what you did to get there. Okay, good. Hi, Jesus, how are you? Please answer the 4 questions for the warm-up so that we can get started. How many seconds are in a minute? How many minutes are in an hour? How many hours in a day? How many hours in a week? Okay, good. I'm glad you're doing well. That's good to hear. Because the situation right now is not easy for us, and it's always good to hear that you guys are okay. How are we doing, guys? You guys, Janelli, Jesus, do you have any answers for me yet so that we can get started with the task? It's going to take a while for us to get through the task. There are 5 stations, and there's a lot of explaining to go on, a lot of attachments in the posting. Hi, Kareem. How are you? Thank you for turning in your work for 3.2. You were actually the only one who turned in the assignment. So thank you for your effort. Okay, there are 60, let's finish it off. 60 seconds, what? 60 seconds in a Yes, it is difficult. And Kareem, I returned it to you so that we could set it up again. I don't think that I did a very good job of setting it up for you guys. Okay, good job. So first question, how many seconds are in a minute? There are 60 seconds in a minute. Okay, keep going, guys. Don't stop. Let's see, there are 60 minutes in an hour. Very nice, Jesus. Thank you for that. So 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. How about how many hours are in a day? 24 hours in a day. And then how many hours in a week was something that we answered Monday. So I want you to give that a try. How many hours in a week? And then let's go even further. How many minutes are in a day? Yes, Jesus, how did you do that? How did you get 168? Okay. I multiplied 24 times what? 24 times what? So far you guys told me 60 seconds in 1 minute. You told me 60 minutes in 1 hour. You told me 24 hours in 1 day. Jesus just told me 168 hours in 1 week. And now I extended it. He said there are 7 days and each day is 24 hours. I like the wording a lot. 7 days, 24 each. I like that a lot. And I'll put that in parentheses because that was what you did. So you said you did 24 times 7 and it equaled 168. Okay, now I extended it even further and I said, okay, then how many hours are in, I'm sorry, that's not what I asked you. I said, how many minutes are in 1 day? You told me there were 24 hours in the day. How many minutes are in the day? And you told me that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour and 24 hours in 1 day. So we're going from here now to here. What would you do? And while I wait for you to do that, I will make a note of who is here. I know that we have Janelle, Jesus, and Kareem. Do we have anybody else here present? I have Janelle, Kareem, and Jesus. Janelle says 24 times 7 is 168. Okay, so you agree with Jesus's calculations. Wonderful. How about this question right here as an extension? There's 5. Yes, I'm waiting for the hellos so I can count them present. Let's see. How many minutes in a day, guys? And that glare has got to go once again. Let's see if I could do something about that. Every time I think it's going to help, and it doesn't. Sorry, guys. Anybody? How many minutes are in a day? Anybody? Your participation is key, folks. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let's see what we got. Is it 1,440? Kareem says 240, and Janelli says 1,440. So let's put down both answers and let's discuss it. We have two answers, 240 minutes or 1,440 minutes. We are looking for how many minutes are in a day, and you guys told me 60 minutes in 1 hour, 24 hours in a whole day. So we're going to go from here over to here. So let's hear about what you guys did to get your calculations. How did we get this one? How did we get this one? And then let's see if one of them is correct. I multiplied 60 by 24. Okay, so I guess similar to what you did over here. 60 times 24. Okay, why did you do 60 times 24? Where did my marker go? Jesus said that he did 60 times 24. Oops. I added 60 4 times. Okay, good. This is, so this is what Kareem did. He said he added 60 4 times, 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60. Jesus said that he did 60 times 24. So now we need to know why you guys did them and which one, if either of them is correct. Let's examine that. Anybody? Anybody? Logic? What is their logic? Why 60 times 24? Why 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60? And is one of them correct? Janelli, do you want to chime in since Jesus and Kareem already said what they did? I think Jesus is correct. Yeah, I am right. I'm waiting for some logic. That's all. Yes, 60 times 24 is definitely 1,440, but I'm waiting for some logic as to why that is correct or Like Janelli agrees with you, so I'm just looking for why you might have did that. And I'm waiting for Kareem to back up why he did 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60, so that we could decide which one is correct, if they are correct, if one of them is correct. 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute. Okay, how does that help us? 60 seconds are in a minute. How does that help us decide how many minutes are in a day? Good morning, Annalise. Thank you for joining us. There is 24 hours in a day. Okay, that definitely helps us because we're trying to decide how many minutes are in a day, and we know that 60 minutes are in an hour. And there are 24 hours in each day. Okay, so if we compare it to what Kareem did, let me erase some of this that we don't need. So you're telling me that there are 24 hours in a day. So there would be what? Midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and it keeps going and going and going and going, right? There, I've run out of room now. Each one of those hours has 60 minutes, right? And you told me that there's 24 of these. Now, I don't have 24 of them up here. Miss Taylor, student voice is extremely important, but there is a way, a correct way to express what it is you would like to convey. And it is not by saying the words that you're using. If you would like to participate with us, you are welcome. This is your class. But if you're going to use inappropriate language, you will be removed. $60. So Kareem, I would like to hear, thank you, I appreciate that, Taylor. And if you have anything you'd like to talk about, I am more than willing to talk with you about it. Kareem, this looks very similar to what you were doing. So I need to hear what you're thinking now. As far as which one is the one that's going to tell us truly how many minutes are in a day. So Kareem, I hope you're still with us. Kareem, you still think that you're correct, buddy? After Jesus and Janelli explained why they did what they did. Oh, you're saying you're incorrect. Oh, okay. Why are you incorrect? Tell me what happened. I'm waiting for Kareem to tell me why he thinks he was wrong. And then we could look at Annalise's method, splitting up the 24. So Annalise, I noticed your methods are great for multiplying things out. That's not really the focus of the work here though. So those tips are definitely going to help people be able to multiply in their head or faster. The focus here right now is the logic. The logic and how to get from minutes to days, not how to multiply 60 by 24. That's kind of like a different topic. So they were asking me to multiply. Well, actually, you weren't incorrect with the way you set it up, 60 plus 60 plus 60, because in essence, isn't that what we're doing here also? The error was where? There's 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., blah, 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 blah. It just keeps going and going and going. So the error was not that you didn't do this. The error was where? Where was your error? Yes, there are different ways to get the answer. Absolutely. Kareem, you didn't have to multiply. What did you need to do though? As soon as you get that, we can move on. It was my addition. Okay, specifically, what about your addition, please? Because you can add. I'm showing adding here. So what was specifically wrong about this, please? Okay, Janelli says that he had to keep adding. How many times did he have to add the 60? Good morning, Brian. I'm glad that you joined us. $24 times. Okay, Kareem, do you have it now? So your setup was not incorrect because of the addition. Your setup was incorrect because you stopped adding after only 4 60s, but there's 24 hours in a day. Nice job, guys. I love that. That was really good. Okay, now that that's complete, we've got to talk about 3.2. Because as I said, only one person turned it in. So again, Kareem, thank you very much. And I would like to take a look at the post first. I've updated it with more information for you. There's a lot of information here. I updated it because I was thinking that maybe you didn't have enough information to get started. So please go to, okay, hopefully this comes out clear enough for you. Please go to your posting in your Google Classroom. Yes, it is challenging because of the lack of materials, and there's a lot of directions. So what my intention is here, is to go over each station for you again, but in better detail, so that you guys can truly investigate this. This is a very important investigation. And I want to point something out to you. I want to point something very important out to you. You see how we did, we went from minutes, and we asked about how many minutes were in a day. So that was converting. We converted units. We took a day, we took one day, and we went to how many minutes that was. This is called converting units. And this is what we're building towards with 3.2, but it's not what we're doing in 3.2. The 3.2 activity is to simply compare. We're not converting yet. It looks like we're converting because of the tables, right? And I'll show you what I mean. For example, this table makes it seem like you're converting because you have a list of the cubic inches, but then you also, for the same exact box, you're going to say how many cubic centimeters it is. So it seems like you're converting, but we're not, because if you look at the questions at the end, they're simply asking you what's bigger. Okay. So let's take a look at station 1, please. Let's take a look at this one. And let me explain this in more detail for you. The first thing that I want to show you is this little box. Okay? In the attachments, let me show you this attachment right here. It looks like the first one. Okay, this attachment right here. If you had paper and you were able to print it, you were supposed to cut it out and glue it or tape it together. So here's the box. It's very small. That is also attached on your classroom. Okay, that's enough of that. Close that. Yes, go back. Okay, so I put up this picture. It says 2 by 2 by 4. I put up this picture for you because I wanted you to see what the box is that you're actually filling. If you were to fill this little box, the measurement of the box, they give you the measurement which you need. You need to know what it measures. It measures 2 inches by 2 inches by 4 inches. All right, so what does that mean? Well, it means that the length, oops. Good morning, Fergie. It's no problem. It means that the length here is, this is the 4 inches. It's 2 inches tall. And then if you think about the width, it's also 2 inches. So 2 by 2 by 4. And I guess if I do it the traditional way, length by width by height, then I would have to switch these two. It really doesn't matter because they're interchangeable. Because right, I can hold the box like this. I could stand it up, but we're going to be filling it like that. So 4 by 2 by 2. Okay. Now your question should be, or where you should be looking is what do these two look like, right? So for that, I put up a picture for you to show you what they would look like so that you can have an idea. So if you click on the, ooh, that's okay. How are you going to see that? Let's see. Can I click on it and make it bigger? All right, let's see if this works. There we go, that's better. If you click on this one, it shows you what 1 centimeter cube is going to look like compared to a 1 inch cube. Now you should have enough information to decide how many inch cubes would it take to fit inside this box. This box, that's 4 by 2 by 2. I want you to think about that. I don't want to just give you answers here because that's not how you're going to learn. I need you to actually think about it. If you take this right here, hopefully I can get that back in focus, that 1 inch cube, 1 by 1 by 1, how many of those could fit inside this box And that's the number that you would put right here. How many of them will fit inside the box? Because that's the volume. Okay, so because you don't have the manipulatives, it is hard but not impossible, because you could imagine lining them up and filling that little tiny box. Okay, you have to do the same thing for the centimeters. The centimeter cube, how many of them would fit inside of this box? And you have to be very careful, because I didn't give you the dimensions of the box in centimeters. I gave them to you in inches. And that's where I want to push you a little bit. I don't want to tell you what the dimensions are in centimeters just yet. If you're really struggling and you don't figure it out, I will help you with that. But remember, the idea of this task is not to convert yet. The idea is to simply compare a cubic inch to a cubic centimeter. Now, I have a question for you before we move to station 2. Do you have any questions on station 1 now that I showed you the materials and I showed you what's expected of you? Does everybody feel like they got a handle on that station right now? I'll just wait to hear your thoughts. I'll update attendance while I'm waiting for you. So now we have Janelle, Jesus, Kareem, Taylor, Annalise, Brian O, and Fergie. Am I missing anyone? Did I miss anybody saying hi or coming in? And do you have any questions on station 1? Please, everybody respond either yes, I have a question, or no, I have a question. Hi, Angelica, how are you? Any questions on station 1? Please, let me know. Because we're going to go over no questions. Okay. I don't know what that means. Kareem, you said that it was difficult. So now that I explained station 1 in more detail and I added some resources, does it make it less hard? Does it feel more manageable now? Because it's really, 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 really important that Ms. Leggett is not giving answers, but that I am allowing you to discover these things. It's very important. People remember things more when they discover them. It's still hard. Do you have a question that you could ask, and then maybe it will make it a little bit easier? Because let me also say this that I noticed from your assignment. Please do not use the Google Converter. The idea of the assignment is to not convert. The idea of the assignment is to compare using real life items. So is there a question that you could ask that will help clear it up? All right, Kareem, I'm going to stand by for your question, but I'm going to move on to station 2 because I don't want us to run out of time. Station number 2. For station number 2, I made a comment in the classroom about station number 2. So let's see if I can maybe, okay. All right, hopefully this appears. Taylor, I'm very disappointed that this is the second time that I have to talk to you about what you're doing. So use the chat wisely and use your class time wisely. It's only an hour a day. And technically, it's only 2 hours a week because that's the assigned class time. The other 3 hours are office hours for students to check in as needed. Yes, we're supposed to be comparing the measurements. We're not supposed to be converting. That's like later on. So let me show you for station 2. It says here, for station 2, please measure something relatively large in your home or around your home. Examples are beds, tall cabinets, a long kitchen table is definitely going to work. I didn't list that here, but now that I think about it, some tables, especially if it's more like a dining room table, they're typically long enough to compare a meter and a foot. I can tell you small items are not going to help you to compare feet and meters. You need things that are long, like a dining room table, a tall cabinet that families put dishes in, like a china cabinet almost, or an armoire that is tall and opens up for clothing. You can hang clothing in it, and then there's typically drawers at the bottom to also fold clothes into. That's an option. Sofas that are a two-seater or more, so a love seat or longer. Nothing. I guess if it curves, it's okay. You can still measure its distance from one side to the other. And if there's nothing large enough inside the house, then there should be things outside the house. And if your families approve it, then you can use that. So if it could be a car, and if there's no car, then a sign. So you know how along the street there are typically signposts, and maybe it will say at the top, maybe it will say something like no parking from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Or maybe it'll say, or maybe there's a stop sign, or maybe there's a speed bump sign, some kind of notification. If there's a sign, the sign should be tall enough that you can measure it. The thing is, though, is in order to measure it, you're going to need something that is definitely 12 inches long, because 12 inches is 1 foot. So it could be a ruler, it could be measuring tape. Sometimes families, they will have the measuring tape for sewing, right? It's very flexible, very thin. Some families will also have the very stiff, I think I have that here that I could show you. In a toolbox, you'll have measuring tape, right? This is very stiff, sort of metallic, right? You got to be careful with these because they snap, all right? I don't want anybody getting hurt. You can hold it, you can lock it in place, but you need to be careful because when you release it, it snaps. And again, I don't want anybody getting cut or hurt because your skin can actually get caught. If you're not careful, it can get caught. It's not going to cut off your finger, but you might get a nice slice and it might hurt a lot and sting a lot because of the nerves in your fingertips. So if you end up using measuring tape from a toolbox, please be careful. A traditional ruler will be fine, but you have to be careful with your measurement. If you don't have anything to measure with, so Jesus, you don't have anything like a protractor or just a basic ruler that you would use at school? You don't have anything like that? If you don't have anything, I think you need to ask your family because they might have something and you don't know it. How did I do on my first question? You have to redo the first question because you did not answer how many cubes fit inside the box. Okay, Jesus, please ask your family when you have time because they might have something that you can use. And if you still don't have anything, there are paper rulers online. Would you be able to print a ruler from online? Worst case scenario, if you can't find anything at all, okay, just ask your family. They might have something. Or they might be able to get something. They might be able to get you a ruler, depending on the situation. Are there any questions about station number 2? Because I don't expect you to go buy a meter stick. But what you could do is measure it in feet, and then I'll help you with the meter part. What about the yellow? Because I am getting confused on which is wrong or right. The yellow? What about the yellow? What about the yellow what? You highlighted stuff. Yes. That means that you have to view the comment. So if all you see is the yellow, you have to open it up so that you can see the comments. Just like class. Kareem, you're going to redo the whole thing. And if you participate in this, it should help fix some of your understanding. Let's take a look at number 3. No one has asked a question on number 2. Let's take a look at number 3. Now, for station number 3, station number 3 is comparing quarts and liters. And for station number 3, you have to watch this video right here. As a matter of fact, let me, okay. This is the video that you have to watch for station number 3. I was able to, many students said that they were not able to access this video, so I put it up for you guys so that you could view it. This is a great way to take a look and see. Right here, this is a gallon, right? If you think about your gallons of milk or gallons of whatever it is you guys buy, chocolate milk, iced tea, they come in gallons. Even orange juice does, it's shaped a little differently. They're taking the gallon and first they pour it into quarts, bottles that are a size of a quart, and then later on in the video, they pour it into liters. If your printer works, take a screenshot using the computer. Upload it to the computer that is linked to the printer and then print the screenshot file and cut out the ruler. That would be cool. Okay. So that's for station 3, and the video that they show you is very, it gives you enough information to answer station 3. So do you have, guys, any questions so far on stations 1, 2, or 3? I'm going to wait a second and see. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. Any questions on station 1, 2, or 3? Because I would like to go over station 4 and 5 before you go. And please, please, please make sure that you have completed it so that we could go over it Monday. Class does not exist without you guys. Any questions on stations 1, 2, or 3, please? Do we have to do it in the book? You guys don't have this book, so you have to use the document that I attached on Google Classroom, please, and open it up with Kami like you would in school. Okay. Yeah, this is a new book. We're in Unit 3 now. And I'm really sorry that you don't have your book. Because me personally, even though I do appreciate our digital capabilities and I appreciate saving the environment and using a lot of paper, I really do, because I love trees. I wish we had more of them still. I'm still someone who loves to thumb through a book. But yeah, we're in Unit 3 right now, Lesson 3. No problem, Jesus. You don't have this book. We were never able to give it to you guys because we left school. Okay, so let's get to station 4 because I'm running out of time with you guys. Now, station number 4, I like all of these stations, but I really, really like this one because I think that when we cook, when we bake, you know, we don't realize how many different types of measures there are. And for this one, I posted a video. There's a very nice lady. Please don't be offended that it says that it's for 3rd grade, because I want to explain that the grade level is not what I was looking at when I picked this video. So it's this video right here with, all right, come on. It's this video right here. This one is going to be for station 4. And the reason why I really like it is because of her scale. Her scale is absolutely perfect for this assignment. If you, let's see if I could get to the part where she shows you, she zooms into the scale. And the scale has all 4 measurements that you need. It has all 4. It has ounces, pounds, grams, and kilograms, all on the same scale. So let's see if I could. She shows you the scale. She zooms in. There it is. Let me pause it right here. But there's an advertisement on it. She shows you, she zooms into the scale and you can see all 4 measurements. You can see ounces, pounds, grams, and kilograms. And she's going to take the time to measure many different objects. I need you to pick any of the 3. You could pause the video and read the measurement and then put it into the chart. You got, that's a good way of looking at it, Brian. Big brain 3rd graders, right? Nah, you're 6th graders. Okay. Any questions on station 4? That one should go very smoothly from the video because she measures tomatoes, onions. She measures her stuffed animal mascots, dominoes. So you have plenty to choose from. Thumbs up. Okay. And that brings us to one that's a little bit more complicated, but still very possible. Station number 5 is asking you to put teaspoons inside a graduated cylinder. So what I did was, in the posting, I gave you an estimate that 1 teaspoon is approximately 5 milliliters. because we don't have graduated cylinders right now in our home. That's usually something you see in labs, schools, or if someone has like a little experimentation set up. Now, if you have a graduated cylinder, because some students really like those science kits, please, by all means, do the activity. Ask your family for salt that you can buy the teaspoon, pour into the graduated cylinder. Now, let me explain something though. There is a difference, right? If I have a teaspoon, there's a difference between filling it and it being level and filling it so that it's actually rounded out. For the purpose of the experiment, if you're taking teaspoons of salt and you're pouring it into the graduated cylinder, do not make it rounded. It should be level. Otherwise, the count will be off. To level it out, you could just use a butter knife or a fork and just kind of like scrape some of it off. But please don't waste. Now, if you don't have graduated cylinders and your family does not want you using the salt, which is very possible, I have a video that is going to at least tell you, and you've probably seen graduated cylinders in science, right? There's a video that I posted. I just wanted you to look at, I wanted you to see the different size graduated cylinders. The third one in, let's say like over here should be the 50 milliliter one. If you do not have one, then you have to use Miss Leggett's estimation that 5 milliliters is about 1 teaspoon. That's actually enough. That's enough information to fill in the chart. Okay. And then obviously, please answer these questions because these questions are the most important part. Even though that filling in the chart is the exploration part, which is really important, answering the questions are the thought-provoking part of it, where you make sense out of it. No. You do not have to buy one. If you do not have a graduated cylinder, please just use my estimation to fill in the chart. I don't want your family to think that they have to go buy a science kit. I was only saying that some students, they like that kind of stuff, and their families get them science kits to play with, experiment with, blah, blah, blah. So they might actually have a 50 milliliter graduated cylinder. But if you don't, which most of you probably don't, I don't, then you need to, well, wait a minute, maybe I do. I'll double check, okay? And if I do, I will make a video that shows me actually doing it, okay? Any questions on stations 1 to 5? Because we are done. And I want to make sure that you have everything you need for this. I want to use my own because if I restart, it gets me more irritated. No questions. Thank you very much for being here. I will post this video along with the assignment now so that the people who were not here can look at it. And then if you forgot something that I said, you could just look back at it. Okay? And then obviously it's also going to be on my channel. All right, guys, you have a great day, please. And please get this done no later than Sunday so that we have things to talk about on Monday. I really need your work to discuss it with you. Okay? Just like we did in the warm-up. You need help, Jesus? Please do the best that you can, and we'll help fill in the blanks Monday with whatever you need, okay? And you can also email me any questions that you have. I will look at my email each day. Okay, bye, guys. Take care.